This is a very exciting day because this is our first opportunity to look at the brand new McLaren 650S. Now I'm here with McLaren's head of product, Jamie Christophen. Jamie, tell me a little bit about this car and where it exists within the current McLaren range.
Sure, so McLaren Automotive is very clear that we're going to be introducing a significant new product each year, and 650S is our new product for 2014. And 650S sits above 12C but below P1.
Yep.
It is based on the 12C, but we really wanted to bring a new product to market that would take the breadth of capability that the 12C has become known for offering to our customers and really stretching that. So it, on one sense, has even greater performance, but also offers greater driver engagement and enjoyment. But at the same time, it's also a comfortable, refined car that we know that our customers will be able to use and enjoy every day.
So I think many of us were expecting a kind of a stripped out kind of GT3 type 12C. Now you're saying that this car is quicker, there are performance enhancements, but also on the refinement as well, it's kind of better than the 12C, is that correct?
Yeah, that's right. So we found that we're able to take the performance capability of the 12C and extend it. So this car has even greater power, so the engine power is now up to 650 PS, and we've actually found an extra 78 Newton meters of torque, which is really the torque you feel when you're driving the car, particularly on the road. So actually much faster in terms of straight line performance. So our 0 to 200 kilometre time is 8.4 seconds for this car, which is really very competitive. But we've managed to achieve that without actually compromising on the usability of the car. So the suspension makes the car more engaging to drive. You have more feel coming through the steering. We've got a much better balance of grip front to rear, and about a 40% increase in the aerodynamics downforce of the car. But the capability that we've got in our proactive chassis control system means that we can do that without actually really changing the ride comfort. And in fact, in some ways, we've improved the refinement of the car because we've made changes to the hardware of the suspension that makes the car quieter and it goes over bumps in the road. Okay,
well I'll tell you what, let's go and have a look at some details in this car and you can talk us around it.
So clearly we've got a very different styling at the front of the car. So new LED headlamps and a new bumper treatment with a much larger front splitter. So the look of this car really ties in with the McLaren family look first seen on the P1. But it's also functional because, as I mentioned earlier, we've got an increase in downforce. So around 40% increase over 12C. And that gives us an improvement overall in terms of grip levels, but it's actually improving the balance of the car front to rear.
Right. So it's not just 40% on the front, it's 40% overall.
Overall, yes, that's right.
Okay.
Moving to the side of the car, we've got new lightweight forged alloy wheels as standard. These are a new design which is specific for the 650S. And at the bottom of the door, we've got a door blade which really flows into the front splitter with the 650S name there. And that's both aesthetic but also helps with the downforce and the aerodynamic profile of the car. We've got new air intakes on the car, which is required for the increased cooling performance of the higher engine output. So as I said, 650 PS from the engine. So
these are just slightly more...
they sort of come out further into the airflow and bring more air into the engine.
Okay. And this line here has been continuing, hasn't it? From the shut. Okay.
And just talk a little bit about the engine as well. So that increased engine performance is come from changes to the hardware, so new pistons, new cylinder heads, and revisions to the engine timing. So that gives us the increased power, but we've actually also managed to reduce the emissions. So the engine now is cleaner, more efficient than before.
It's a real signature feature, isn't it, the engine, because it's a relatively small capacity V8, a 3.8 litre V8, 650 horsepower in this car.
What's really important is power to weight. And so with that increased engine performance, we've now got 500 PS per tonne, which is an exceptional figure in the class.
And performance isn't anything without drivability, so I presume you've worked hard on drivability of this engine as well.
Absolutely. So drivability is really important in terms of pure performance, but almost more important is the role it plays in how the car feels to drive, particularly when you're driving on the road, for example. So we've worked really hard to take our product to the next level in terms of its drivability, and specifically what we've done is worked on the gear changes. So the gear changes are more consistent, they're faster, and in some modes they're more dramatic. So we used a range of different technologies depending on how you're driving the car, which mode you're in, whether you're wanting maximum performance or maybe just driving the car for, just for fun. We do different things in different circumstances to deliver the mix of emotion and performance.
And on the electronic calibration side, now McLaren worked very hard on the electronic calibration of the gearbox. This is something new for the 650, isn't it? You've had a really close look at how you can do the cylinder cut in sport mode.
Exactly.
And
so as you're changing up through the gears, so in sport mode, we'll use a cylinder cut. So that will momentarily cut the spark to the cylinders, and effectively produces a more emotional shift. Effectively makes the sound, makes the car sound better, makes a more engaging, enjoyable gear shift. But clearly, if you're wanting to have maximum performance, that momentary cut in the spark is actually cutting a little bit of the time, and it's making the gear shifts a little longer. So we don't want that in all circumstances. So if you're in track mode or at maximum performance or in launch mode, we use something called Inertia Push, which is actually harvesting the kinetic energy as the engine is changing speed. So the engine needs to slow down as you change up a gear. It's harvesting that energy and transferring it to the wheels, actually pushing the car faster. So you're actually getting a faster shift in track mode and a more emotional change and shift in sport mode.
It's very interesting that they're using the kinetic energy in track mode. I mean, this is kind of close to the seamless shift idea that we hear a lot about in Formula One these days. Is it fair to say that there is tech transfer from Formula One to road division?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we're all under the same roof and working, and McLaren is famous for pushing innovation and bringing all that innovation and technology to market as fast as possible, which is why we're introducing the 650S.
Sure. Now, carbon ceramic brakes, am I right in saying these are standard on the 650S?
So carbon ceramic is standard on the 650S, along with a Corsa tyre.
Right, okay. So we were talking earlier on, you're excited about using this Corsa tyre now. This is unique to this car.
Yes, so it's a new compound, it's a new pattern. We previously offered Corsa tyres on other products, but this is a unique pattern for the 650S. It offers an improvement in grip, and we've actually got a slightly larger tyre, effective profile on the front end of the car, which is all giving us an increase in grip.
Right, okay. Particularly front end grip. Is that something that is it fair to say you look
at
front end grip?
Absolutely,
yeah. Okay.
So do you just want to go back to the brakes for a second?
Yeah, go for it.
Because we've made a big improvement in the braking feel you get with the carbon ceramic brakes. I mean, often you hear that people complain that carbon ceramics give you a slight sort of dead spot at the top of the pedal travel, and for us, control weights is very, very important. We say brand defining for McLaren. It's what people expect to have really consistent feel from every aspect where the driver interfaces with the car. So brake pedal, throttle pedal, steering. So we really wanted to lead and be brand defining in terms of brake feel, and we've made a lot of changes, a lot of detailed changes. We took a lot of learning from the P1 program to really improve our brake feel with our carbon ceramic brakes. Okay. Now, talking about the stability systems, I heard the word earlier on driftability used in your press conference. It's the first time I've ever heard a McLaren employee mention the word driftability. I think I know what you're getting at. Maybe one of the criticisms of the early cars that it just didn't feel like it was agile enough on the limit. You could drift through a corner. Obviously something that interests us greatly on Evo. Of course. So tell me more about the stability systems and the revisions for this car in particular. Yeah, so it really starts with having a really natural, well-balanced basic chassis. So as I said, we've got an improvement in the balance front to rear. We've also got more grip, and we've got more feel coming to the driver. So that's a good base to start from. And because we have that better base, we're able to maybe rely less on the stability systems in the extreme, and they can be more progressive in the way that they catch the car without in any way compromising on the safety. And it's still possible to switch everything off if you're feeling slightly hooliganistic. Yes. Okay, let's go around to the rear, because there's some styling revisions at the rear as well. Yeah, at the rear we've got a new rear bumper, a three-piece rear bumper, which has been inspired by the style of our a GT3 race car.
Yep.
Also, Stealth Pack is standard on 650S.
Okay.
And a new optional carbon fibre air brake. You're able to put the car into an aero mode, which will deploy the wing.
Yeah.
When it's in aero mode, if you're at full throttle,
Yeah.
In sport or track modes,
Yeah.
The wing will automatically retract to the mode
It will
it's in.
trim back.
Exactly.
Okay.
Which is
Yeah.
helps with top speed, helps
Yeah.
with lap time, and it's also a nice feature to use on the road.
And this is, it automatically does that, it's not a push button
Exactly, it's
kind
auto,
of,
so auto
right.
DRS.
And P1
Exactly.
it is
It's
active on the
control.
manual. Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay. Yeah.
A couple of other features, just enhancing the active aerodynamics, is that when you're going over a crest,
Yeah.
or if you're changing down through the car, through the gears and decelerating, it will deploy to a sort of medium setting as well.
Okay. So what about those jump shots we really like to do?
Yeah,
on
yeah,
there?
it might be more difficult.
You used to do those as well.
Yeah,
I remember your
exactly.
career as a road tester.
Yes, yes.
Let's talk about the interior.
Yes.
There's some changes inside.
So interior, obviously, really crucial for a super sports car. So 650S gets an all-new full Alcantara interior standard.
Okay.
And there's a number of new features that you can add to the car. So one of which is a full carbon fibre racing seat.
Yeah.
So fixed back racing seat. You sit very low in the car, very well supported. It's a great option.
Yeah.
It really contributes to the driving experience, and that can be complemented with a full Alcantara steering wheel,
Yeah.
which is shown on this car.
Yeah.
And then there's a couple of new options for customers who want to personalise their car. So we've got an extended carbon fibre interior pack, which adds carbon fibre to the doors here and also to the rear of the cabin.
Electric rack.
Yeah, so a couple of features that really help with the convenience of the car. So electric steering column,
Yeah.
which is linked to the electric seats if you choose those.
Yeah.
Just moves the steering wheel out the way as you open the door, just makes it easier to get in and out of the car. And reversing camera.
I'm going to ask you a question. I think I know how you're going to answer this.
Okay.
But how does it drive?
What we really wanted to do was make the car, it was not only faster on the track and in a straight line, but really engaged with drivers on the road in real world situations.
Yeah.
And absolutely this does this. This puts a smile on your face, it gets under your skin, it makes you want to push that a little bit harder but never go over your limits.
Yeah.
And it's really just a fun, engaging car to drive.
Yeah. Sounds a little bit more Evo, dare
we
I
hope
say
so.
it.
We hope so.
Yeah.
We hope so.
Well, thanks to Jamie, and thanks for watching. This is very exciting to see this car for the first time. We literally only saw it half an hour ago for the first time. We will be driving it very soon, so don't forget to subscribe to Evo TV for that first review, and thanks for watching.